My friends, hello and welcome to SpeedLore. Well, tonight it's not just GoldenEye SpeedLore, nor just Perfect Dark SpeedLore, but a little bit of both. As you'll see, a sort of rivalry has been heating up in these games, but in a bit of an unconventional way. There have been numerous insane world records set in GoldenEye by Perfect Ace this year, which we're going to dive into tonight. And all the while, there have been numerous insane world records set in Perfect Dark by the mysterious Will X. And while Ace has been playing GoldenEye and has retaken his spot as champion of GoldenEye, Will X has taken this opportunity to pass Ace on the Perfect Dark rankings, becoming champion of Perfect Dark himself. So tonight, let's sit back and look at the remarkable ongoings in GoldenEye and Perfect Dark between these two champions through this first half of 2023. And my friends, indeed the runs we are going to witness tonight are truly remarkable, truly unbelievable. You know, if we take a look at Ace's personal record history, we can actually see quite clearly, you know, that he was playing a bit last year, not even that much in 2022. And here we see February 2023, he started to get back into it, got a couple times, and then in May and June, really the past 2 months have really taken off. The first amazing new world record he got this year was this time of Silo 00 Agent 120. It's a remarkable speedrun, it's amazing, and as such, we will dedicate it to a SpeedLore champion, and this one goes out to our pal E Street. A huge thanks to you, E Street, for your support of SpeedLore on Patreon. Let's watch Ace's Silo 00 Agent 120. And you know, this was a remarkable run because this was actually a time, and I could be saltier about it, I guess, but Ace got 121 in 2014, and I tied it in 2017. It was this insane arc, this insane journey. One of kind of the last great grinds that I was able to overcome and see play out on stream when I was streaming regularly back in 2017. And what's amazing is that Silo 00 121 remained the world record ever since then. You know, 2017, and not one single person even tied it. So it was just me and Ace all through from late 2017 into 2023, which is kind of crazy. 5 full years where not one single extra person tied it. And it was always obvious that 120 was possible. And it was just a matter of a grind. Like Ace grinding for it, it's pretty much inevitable he was going to get it. And really, there's not a huge difference on this run from his. That was really well played to like injure the guard and kind of keep him off to the side there. A less experienced player would have, you know, not shot that guard in the right spot and maybe gotten blocked. And these are the small things that Ace does that are always going to add up and be really, really good. But yeah, on Ace's 121, at this point, when he pauses for the last plastique and runs to the end with Ormov, he got like stuck behind Ormov quite badly on the 121. And so it was always obvious that like 120 was possible, right? And so this is just him going about and doing that and, you know, getting the run in order. Silo 00 120, great run. You know, lower might be possible. Even 119, 118, probably possible, maybe even 117 someday over the rainbow. But, you know, so you quick pause twice there to speed up your subsequent quick pauses. And if you run the math on it, it's actually so much faster to do that. It's almost stunning. You end up saving like, you know, almost a full second by the final pause. Another quick pause there. 3 quick pauses ends up, it's about as good as you're going to get on the stage. You know, ideally you could do 7 quick pauses off the bat, and then like every single subsequent pause is going to be the fastest one. But even now with the 3 quick pauses and 1 plastique pause, he's already on like the 3rd fastest pause, and we're talking like tenths of seconds difference. So like 2 quick pauses in the first room is pretty good, entering this room at 7:44 is like decent. 7:45 you could do, but again, pausing up here at 7:39 is quite good. So it was a very quick third room, grabbing the DAT and the circuit board and making it through here. You can get back boosted. These guards can hit you a lot. Only one sort of back boost there. Injuring that guard in a limb is good, so he's a slow reaction. You can get boosted by him. Quick picture there. You could go on the right side of the satellite, but not a huge deal. Again, it's kind of, it might not even save time on 00 Agent, really. And yeah, just a great run. And it's actually a 120.5 roughly. So really, really good stuff by Ace. Just kind of delivered a run that, you know, probably could have and maybe should have happened years ago. I think the bigger mystery is actually why no one was able to get 121 in the meantime. And I'll take a look at the rankings here. It's actually quite remarkable and funny. If we click on the rankings and go to Silo 00, we'll see that, yeah, like Clem and Mark. Okay, Irie and Tide King got 122. And they actually grinded quite a bit to get these times. Tide King especially is this fellow. He's kind of retired, I believe. He made a retirement announcement video at some point. And he almost got 121, but just never quite could do it, you know, never quite could make it happen. And that's the grind, you know, that's kind of the story of speedrunning. And, you know, we only kind of see the surface, the soaring records of beauty and wonder, of people achieving amazing things, seeing the kind of, you know, backroom grinders who, you know, just falling short. And there is a poetry to that, certainly. But, you know, neither Irie nor Tide King, Jacob here, could get the 121, and so 121 remained the record from 2014 until this 120. And again, still no one's got 121, which is kind of amazing. Believe me, I do sometimes feel slightly tempted to go for 120, but it's just, you haven't been in the mood to play too much lately, you know. Shoutouts to B Rose with 124 down here. Very nice time, B Rose. And yeah, 125s, 126, etc. So no one can nail the 121, let alone 120. And if that's the state of the game, you know, who knows? Maybe 120 will remain untied for 10 years at this point. If I don't get it, if Clem and Mark don't play it, like, you know, maybe it'll remain untied forever. And I think we're entering an era where that kind of thing can happen, you know. Well, we'll get to a run that can probably remain untied forever in a couple runs from now. But yeah, we'll leave it at that there. Ace, you know, this was worth a lot of points. This is just a quick cleanup. Depot age in 23 seconds. You know, a lot of people have this time now, so it's just kind of a boring level to play. You know, if I was playing this in 2006, you know, going for some early world records in my career, it might be more exciting because it's like, oh, if I hit the train shot and make the warp, I could get the world record. But especially for a guy like Ace, this is almost more of a chore, just to, you know, because hitting that warp happens once, you know. Oh, he didn't even, he skipped it. He thought it was 20. He thought it was 24. Unless he hits 2 warps in a row here, but let's take a look. Oh, I guess because, yeah, he skipped it because the train door didn't open, and so it's got really funny. Most people want to have you want to hit the train shot and have the guard open that door for your best chance at 23. But obviously Ace's movement is so crisp and so perfect that he gets 23 with the closed train door. And a few people have. I think Boss and JD Black have done that as well. So, yeah, funny stuff. Ace didn't think it was it, and indeed it was it. Kind of amazing. It's really funny to see a run like this in the wild. And he's like, wait, did that say 23? And he's like thinking about it now, like, oh my god, I think I got 23. And he takes 15 seconds to go back into the level and see, which is really funny. There it is, 23. Epic stuff. You know, if we look at the rankings here, we'll see, like, you know, he's the most recent guy to get 23, but it looks like he's the 31st person with the time. So that's quite a number of players with that record. The next thing that would happen is Ace would reveal this world record. You know, I have a whole video about it. Others have videos about it as well. Bunker 1, Secret Agent 19. You know, probably the greatest record ever set in the game. And, you know, I don't say that lightly. You know, how many records have I discussed in SpeedLores? Many. And this one is simply amazing. But I go into a lot more detail about it in a previous main channel video that I presume you've all seen. And so I won't go over too much. But a huge sort of, I guess, breakthrough innovation was to do all 4 cameras without pausing. Because you can imagine someone like Ace with such good muscle memory and movement, how many attempts he can do of this, like 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, strafe down, pick this up, and then shoot one shot. You know, that all unfolds in about 11 seconds, as opposed to, you know, pausing, then taking the picture, then shooting the 4th camera. It adds like 6 or 7 seconds to each attempt. And so when you're talking an attempt, okay, like loading screen and all, each attempt probably takes 20 seconds at these first 4 cameras. And doing the pause early adds like 5 seconds to that attempt cycle. And so this late pause, flicking the camera shot, and then 2.4 ending, not only is it maybe a slight bit faster, but it just adds so many more reps per hour, you know, attempts per hour, that can really help you grind. And when you're someone as good as Ace and you're grinding this much, obviously that helps immensely. So 19 seconds Bunker 1 Secret Agent, a really, really, really good world record. And people are just stunned in the comments. Spare a moment for the guy who needs to review that photo of the main screen back at Q Branch. That is a funny comment. James, that's a funny comment. But yeah, I won't belabor that one too much, nor this one, because I also have a main channel video with this one. But then we have quite a few more that really get quite remarkable here after this one. This one, of course, is the Frigate 00 Agent 103. And Ace spent tons of hours playing this. Like, it was probably almost his main focus, dating back at over a year, I would say. And it just, that was such a good move there to like pause briefly and then unpause, to, you know, cycle the, he was going to get stuck and he wanted to move up so that the hostage doesn't get stuck on him. So he realized as he was going to the pause that he was going to get stuck. He unpaused quickly and then repaused later. And because like he's really, really good at the game and he can get like 101 fails at this speed, with the strategy, he knew he had, you know, that probably cost him a quarter of a second, but he like can afford the quarter of a second that, you know, that it took to make the better move, which ultimately resulted in the hostages escaping. And so again, just that stuff that like super wise, super sort of experience, that's just experience plus skill in a nutshell. And Frigate 00 Agent 103, untied world record, you know, amazing stuff there. We'll watch it once more here, coming on in. So you shoot those shots to lure out the guards on the bridge above you. And that's why in the last room, there's only the hostage taker. The other 2 guards have left. You want to hit that guy, but no big deal if you can get through cleanly. A little hang up there, 1 headshot there, skips the guard on the right. So he doesn't get through, so he realizes, okay, then he pushes through. Because if he paused there, the hostage behind him would have got hung up for sure and probably not have completed. So really, really wise decision there. A nice warp. He's got really good movement. Yeah, interesting to pass away those guards. Probably helps with the hostage escaping odds, you know, to make sure they're out of the way. There's less obstacles, less guards for the hostages to get stuck on, and a bit of a backup hang up on the door threshold there. A lot of these door thresholds are very sticky. It's hard to get through them, but again, good enough for 103 pace, and they complete. And so indeed, it is a new untied world record. We'll take a look at the rankings in a second with this new untied world record, but we're going to watch one more first. And I probably mentioned this one in the video I did about the 103, but he also went and played Frigate Secret Agent and got the new untied of 57, which is unbelievable, remarkable. And this one is so unbelievable and remarkable that we will dedicate this run to a SpeedLore champion. And this one goes out to our pal, Soul O'Rock. A huge thank you, Soul, for your support of SpeedLore on Patreon. Let's check out Ace's Frigate Secret Agent 57. And I always love Frigate Secret Agent coming up in lore because it was the first lore episode. So it's kind of always a full circle. Ace did a one-shot headshot in that guard. Something that just like, the two quick pauses there is good. Guard pulls a nade, but luckily the hostages sort of like unload, or the nade like stays in the room. It's a weird thing. You know, you would think the nade would pass away those two hostages and then you'd be screwed, but it's just the way it works on this stage is that, you know, it doesn't do so. And I mean, the movement there was so beautiful, and like the shots, see how the hostage was there? That guy doesn't need to escape because he just kind of, you know, there's 4 other hostages that you free on Frigate SA, and we'll take another look at this in a minute. But that hang up is what would have happened if he didn't do that pause fix on the 00 agent run. So very, very nice. 57. I mean, that's just kind of surreal to see, in all honesty. Let's watch it once more. So he strafes down here, one-shot headshot here. Pretty insane. Bingo, bango. Or even just bingo, you know, one shot. One simple shot. Chucks the tracker bug. 2 quick pauses. He might not have registered the second one because the ammo didn't come back up. Ace and Clem get like too fast with the quick pauses, which is kind of funny. But they save 2 hostages up there, 3 there, 4 here, but he's not going to escape, so forget him. Defuse the bomb. Warp up here. Then that noise helps like clear out the area that this hostage will escape in, so this will be the 4th and final one to escape. You need 4 on SA, 5 on 00. And just a wonderful... And A completes there. Like, A completes fast enough for like 55. But it may simply not be possible to like actually get 55. Speed, like actually get to the end in 55 seconds. You know, this is Ace, he gets 57, which is insane. So yeah, good luck getting 56 or 55, even though the hostages can clearly escape fast enough for that. So let's take a look at the rankings here. We can see here on Frigate that Ace has the 2 untieds, 57 and 103. And that 58 was the record since 2017. Again, that was kind of when I begun the lore series. So pretty amazing stuff to look back upon. Oh yeah, Ace got 59 in February 2017, that's right. Didn't get 58 till a while later. But yeah, Ace got the 59, Peta got 58 a few days later, which was surprising and unbelievable. And 58 remained, you know, the world record for a long time. 103 is also pretty epic and cool. You know, kind of hard to believe. And beat the time of Dan Swiss Parker from 2019. And was there... Oh yeah, the Bunker 1 Secret Agent is so insane because he's up 2 seconds now on second place on a 20-second level without really that much of a difference of a strategy, you know, so that's like kind of cooked. And yeah, only a lose joined with 21 now. You know, lose 21 is kind of cute. Let's take a let's watch it for with the new strategy.
I never even seen that with like that before. So I was like
he really kind of strafes into the hull to maintain full speed, which is really smart. So traditional KF7 for the fourth camera, as opposed to, Ace doing a one-shot PP7, because, good luck on that.
Let's go.
Illunos has a chance here. Switching to 2.4, you get the webcam, which really illustrates well how this happens.
Holy shit. That must be 21. Wow. I was just talking, didn't even know what was going on.
There you go. Just talking, didn't know what was going on, but got the 21 thanks to the new technique. And I mean, this is Illu, all-time great player, getting 21, still no one with 20, let alone 19. And so that 19, certainly might remain untied forever and ever and always. Who knows? Yeah, that new technique inspired Illu to play for the first time in 2 years, which is kind of cool. So, hey, very epic and nice stuff. Another thing that Ace cleaned up was getting Cradle's Secret Agent 33. I don't believe he has double agent yet, but this was probably worth a lot of points, and so this further cements himself retaking champion of the game. There's still some other stuff he could clean up, like obviously Control 00 is worth a good amount of points, and so is Runway 00. But getting this was probably a gain of 30 points, and we'll take a look at the rankings next. And yes, you shoot this, you shoot Trev at the same frame. Ace even fires over at the console up there in hopes that maybe one stray shot will hit it, and that might be the difference between a completing or failing. So just really he knows he can get 33 pace easily, just always accounting for every possibility. I'll slow it down here and show what he's doing. 34, you would do this and then go over there and destroy it yourself. But in this, you have to hope Trev drops a nade and Ace fires towards the console. It doesn't look like he hit it there, but it was just a consistency thing, If he hits it on half the runs, and maybe there's a 1 in 20 nades might need one extra shot to destroy the console, he's gonna go for it and attempt that extra edge, the razor's edge that makes him a champion. And at this point in time, we look down here and we can see now he has a 100-point lead on Irie in second place, and that's huge. That's becoming immense, to overcome that many points at a high level, where Irie's times page, she already has 90 points on most stages. Where is he going to gain 100 points, right? He have to hit the world record on these stages that are some of his weaker stages, on the rankings. And so that is asking a lot. And so Ace's 33 here would have gained him, 20, 25 points. And he doesn't have it on 00 yet. But, maybe he'll get it someday, maybe not. Shoutouts to Randy, Chapman, and Kieran for their 33s as well. Nice job, lads, on that. Oh yeah, Ace also revealed his Aztec times, he had got these a long, long time ago. Aztec 00133. Yeah, let's give it a watch, and in fact, let's dedicate this one to our SpeedLore champion, FC Bojangles. Thank you, FC Bojangles, for all of your support on Patreon. Let's check out the amazing Aztec 00133 of Ace. He actually got this one day after I'd gotten my own 133. So my 133 was legit untied. We can see Ace loses about 3 seconds on that pillar, maybe 2 seconds on that pillar, maybe 1.5. And then he goes for this insane shot in the leg backup strategy. And look, he's almost passed away here. So he does some more quick pausing, the glass is opened, and then he shoots the guards to get out. Now, we'll watch his other difficulty runs as well, because they are actually quite compelling. But to see kind of how it's done instead, but we'll see the kind of this is like playing the kneeling glass strategy about as slow as you can possibly play it, but because it's so much faster, and he gets the body armor as well, but because it's so much like faster to do that glass strategy than the mainframe strategy, it ends up being 133, which is quite something. My 13300 is like a perfectly played mainframe run, skipping body armor, in fact, which is, unbelievable on 00 Agent. Ace's run here is like a very slowly played glass, crouch glass, we call it. And so you really see the difference in how much time could be saved. 133 there. And yeah, it's like, the beginning is fine, but if we really kind of get into it, we know this is a 133. We can start doing the math on the run here. So, like, let's say he loses 2 seconds here, okay, to Trollery. So now you're talking 131. Now let's say, and this may not be survivable on 00, but let's just like entertain the idea. Let's say instead of quick pausing, he pauses now for the guidance data, uncrouches, and is like, he's already paused and is on his way. He paused while he was waiting in the guard's crouch. So that's another like 3 seconds. We're talking 128. And then it's like, okay, like, let's skip the body armor, which we know is feasible thanks to the box ending. And now we're talking like 124 00 Agent, 123 00 Agent. Is that going to happen anytime soon? If ever, maybe not. But who knows? That's really sort of the final frontier of GoldenEye speedrunning. As we do kind of get into this more slowly crawling towards like the heat death of GoldenEye speedrunning. That the perfect Aztec 00 Agent run is really sort of like the final frontier of it all, That's for sure. Aztec 00 133. I mean, what a time. What an unbelievable time. And yeah, he just didn't post it because like he got it back then and just felt like it was kind of too he wanted lower. Like that's all it comes down to. He wanted lower and he wasn't happy with that. He wanted lower. The secret lore of why he posted that run actually was there was some kind of like Joris Unhoard number 18, and Ace, and this is rare for Ace got like a little bit scared that Joris was going to post Bunker 1 SA 20 with the 2.x ending, and it makes some sense because Joris is really good with 2.x ending. Plus, he was one of the first people I showed when I got Bunker 116 with 2.x ending. And so it makes sense that Joris, Ace was just kind of like getting a little bit too anxious. He had been sitting on these times for a while, and he was just getting a little bit too hot to trot, I'll suppose. Is how I'll put it. And so he decided to unhoard his time. So he was trying to save up for like an epic unhoard, and it just, never came about. Let's watch his Aztec times relatively quickly. Aztec Agent 120. Hey, it's a pretty remarkable and insane run. And so let's dedicate this one to a SpeedLore champion. And this one will go to our pal 4-Day Bender. A huge thanks to 4-Day for all of your support of SpeedLore on Patreon. Let's watch Ace play Aztec Agent. And again, this one is kind of interesting because, you know, you can't quite do that on 00 Agent. But this room, you know, in an ideal world, and it may not be possible, although there may be tricks to do with a grenade where you throw them off the glass, but you pause now for the guidance data, the glass opens, and like instead of shooting these guys and then pausing, you're kind of on your merry way. But you do get a lot of back boosts. Like, it's probably not viable in 00 Agent, but there are tricks with grenades that could be explored as well. So something like 124, 125 00 is probably possible at some point in the future. And then Agent, you don't even need to do the crouch strat, just so cake to live. You just stroll into the vents and do more of a classic ending. And that's exactly what we'll see here, you know. Nice shot. You know, these countdowns are certainly a bit less climactic when, you know, it's, well, not, you know, one shot left and guards aren't trolling you from every angle and so on and so forth, you know. But there we go, the Aztec Agent 120. And this one actually had kind of an interesting repercussion on the rankings, which I'll get to in a minute. We'll watch it once more here. You know, running the first room is actually kind of, I always find it a little bit tougher than people purport, because the guards cause a lot of lag and it kind of trolls you later. But I think he took out like he took out like 2 more guards than people usually do, you know. But yeah, the idea, and it can be easy to shoot twice there and pass this guard away by accident. So pause here. You can hear the glass open right as you're unpausing. But even there, like, he lost like 1 or 2 seconds by getting the back boosts and getting trolled, and it's just kind of part of the gig of the crouch glass strategy. You know, you're uncrouched and you're immediately exposed to 3 guards standing in one spot not at full speed. Whereas with previous techniques, you would be running at full speed and they can miss you, you know. So that just is what it is. But you know, the nice 120 by Ace here. And, you know, the repercussions this one had was that on the rankings, you know, poor DK, Mystic Cheese, thought he had achieved the untied world record with Aztec Agent 120, but in reality, Ace had actually done it a few months earlier in March and secretly hoarded it. And so on paper, Ace is credited with the untied, even though Mystic believed he had achieved the untied. So that's a bit unfortunate for Mystic, but it is what it is. And then, of course, Ace also got the 125. It's funny because Ace could have got like any Aztec times in the world, really. But, like, he somehow ended up getting the ones that were the world records. Like, he tied my 133.00. He tied Riola's 125 Secret Agent, which is just kind of, you know, funny and strange and unusual in such a way that we will dedicate this run to our SpeedLore champion, Mr. Moxie. A huge thanks, Mr. Moxie, for all your support of SpeedLore on Patreon. Let's watch Ace's Aztec Secret Agent 125. And this is the kind of thing that, you know, is probably doable on 00 Agent. Like, this run is probably largely playable on 00 Agent. So there's the shot. Here he has a nade. So he banks the nade off the glass. It opens, and then it hits the guard. And see, this is a way cleaner situation than, you know, what we saw before. And again, he jukes the drone. You could do the sort of insane YOLO nade takeout shot that he was my Aztec 00133, but either way, gets through there, survives, and like, in theory, a very similar run would be playable on Aztec 00 Agent. It really would. And so something like 125 could happen on Aztec 00. Certainly, like, a really good job from Riolo to get 125 when he played the stage and kind of set that as like a standard, I suppose, you know? That's a really good one. Because this run actually seemed really good. Like, this is definitely the strongest of the Aztec records. You know, Agent, he got a bunch of back boosts at the glass. You know, something like 118's definitely doable there. 00, you know, we're already discussing how you can save probably 8 seconds there. But this one's, like, really, really good. And, like, I'm hard-pressed to see, like, how much more time could be saved. I guess what some would suggest is you could run the first room. And, like, on older Aztec strategies, guys would run the first room. But, you know, that's asking a lot. Because the guards harass you from behind. So, like, to survive. But this is so clever. Like, throwing the nade off banking off the glass. And I'm sure that's actually a lot harder and more kind of precise than we think. You know, and that's just a way cleaner entry and exit of the glass area than we saw previously, you know. You know, just a very, yeah, you could see 124 maybe on an even more, you know, there's a couple of very mild hang-ups here and there. So you could maybe see 124, you know, but this definitely is the best of these Aztec records, for sure. Without a doubt, in my mind, at least. We'll watch a countdown here. Pretty safe. Guards can troll you at the last second here. But, you know, when you're shooting like this, pretty uncommon. So there it is. We'll take a look at the Aztec rankings in a second here, too. There's the 125. And so, yeah, it's interesting that there's this big gap on Secret Agent. Like, 129 is third place. So Riolo winnings have the 125. And I guess there's a slight gap on Agent. But, yeah, I mean, that really shows you how much, like, the Secret Agent time is more ahead of everyone else compared to Agent and 00. So that kind of further illustrates the point. I wonder if anyone will get like 128, 127 on Secret Agent. Who knows? And, yeah, so Riolo got this March 2022. Ace got it only like 2 weeks later. And then, look, May 27, 2022. And then Ace got it May 27, 2022. I had it untied, I think, for like 22 hours, I believe. I think it might technically be May 28th, but anyways, I won't nitpick that. So funny stuff with Ace's Aztec records. And you know what else is funny is, like, he's been playing a lot of Train. This one's called Train Agent 57 Rock Hawk Edition. And it's kind of funny. I'm guessing Rock Hawk is like a Paper Mario character, though I don't know for sure. And he's strafing through here. He's been trying for Train Agent 56 to tie Henrik's. Well, you know, he's making his way to tying Henrik's untied sweep. And Henrik actually taught him that sort of ending technique there. Oh, that was tough. Like, the guard really kind of hung up with him for half a second. And then the locks are going to be really good here. Like, Ace can get 56 Agent. It's just a matter of the run coming together, and he's been grinding. Japanese, PAL's the most advantaged console for train, and Ace just got PAL set up, so I mean maybe by the time this goes live on YouTube, Ace will have it. But 57, really good run. The first one he tied was Train 00-148, which was the longest standing untied. And I made a video with this one, so I'm not gonna, re-litigate the whole thing. But this was a very good run. And actually, like, Ace and Henrik met up in person. That was, like, the key. And Henrik shared with him some knowledge on train. And then Ace used the knowledge to tie Henrik's untied sweep on train. Is that a betrayal, or is that sort of the collaborative thing that we should in an ideal world we would do more and more? Imagine a world where we all live together and shared strategies and knowledge all the time. That would be a much better world, right? We'd probably advance the game more quickly, and so maybe we shouldn't be so salty. And certainly Henrik's not salty. I'm just talking like in theory. Comes out here, shoots away. He's got to wait to the end for Natalia to hack the objective. Bango, bango, train 00-148. Very nicely done. I'll show the one mistake. I'll highlight the one mistake in this run, and Ace will, thank me for pointing it out. He knows. The one mistake is he misses a B press on that door. You see, kind of got hung up on that door. Like, that's literally it. And at the end, he experimented with this a lot too, to use the technique where you shoot Ormov from afar. But, like, I watched Ace stream some attempts, and it's like you would shoot him now instead of, like, going all the way in and shooting him, and that starts the Natalia timer 1 second earlier. But it's actually way harder said than done. But he will likely pull it off on this run, which is train Secret Agent 122, which we will dedicate to a SpeedLore champion, GOP 1386. A huge thanks to you, GOP GOP 1386, for all of your support of SpeedLore on Patreon. Let's watch this Ace run. This is the second last Ace run we'll watch of the night, and then we're going to get into what Will X was doing while Ace was busy playing GoldenEye these last few months. So just super good strafing, super amazing strafing. Nice, maintaining full speed on the brakes, which is just insane. Nice shots here. No guards there, which is kind of troll with lag. But yeah, switch weapons, back strafe, shoot Ormov. And for one reason or another, it's just way harder to pull off on 00 Agent. And still, neither Henrik nor Ace has pulled it off on 00 Agent. It makes you wonder, could either of them get 147 00 if they were able to do that? Those locks were pretty fried. You need pretty good locks with this Ormov long shot, because you have to you shoot Ormov and start the timer much earlier, and you still have to deal with the two double ZMG guards after that. So that takes 3 seconds, 5 seconds. And so that actually could have been really bad, that boost there. He could have got boosted into the deloading zone and triggered the deloading zone before it was ready, and he could have actually lost the run there, which would have been horrendous. But mind you, Ace is really, really good, and so, I'm sure he would have found a way to overcome such a thing. He would have kept grinding until he got the run. But yeah, just pretty much nothing to really point out or argue with this run. Really marvelous, even just plowing through the guards who have a lot more health. You do want these guards to be more in your way. Their location's random, so you can pass more away and have a less laggy ending, but doesn't matter really. So how much time does taking out these guards and moving from the back take? A you know, you probably have like 2 or 3 seconds less to do these locks at the end in comparison to if you just lasered Ormov, which is, you know, a bit slower, of course. But that's not a problem for guys like Ace and Henrik because they can do the locks so fast that they're just good. Whereas someone like myself, you know, even if I laser Ormov and clear out all the guards and I'm right beside the locks, I still struggle to do them fast enough to escape, you know, without Natalia being, you know, early enough for Natalia to not notice me. Leaves here at like 33.9. 30.55 ending is pretty perfect. Hard to imagine a more perfect ending of Train Secret Agent. So really good run there by Ace. 122. And yeah, one more run by Ace here to show, and then we'll take a look at the rankings and see where things stand at this current moment in time. So the next longest standing untied was Bunker 100 Agent 101 by Clem. And Ace obviously decided he was going to attempt to tie that. Well, of course we're watching it, so he did. And this one's going to go to our SpeedLore champion, Sammy Limex. A huge thanks to you, Sammy, for your support of SpeedLore on Patreon. Let's take a look. This one's complicated and interesting, and yeah, a lot going on here. Open the door, and he's so good at like getting headshots on these guards, which really help immensely. So you want to shoot that guard early, have Boris put his hands up as soon as possible. Now, this is sort of new. You run to this camera, then pause over here. You're trying to get far away from Boris, so he runs into the mainframe room, which is kind of rare. That being said, apparently pausing in that location sort of improves the chance that Boris will choose the mainframe room as the place he's going to run. And even that, like, that was tough. I noticed many runs, Ace sort of fumbling there. You know, it's insanely difficult to do, to catch Ormov and not shoot him again. You know, to deal with those 3 guards. You're trying to shoot those 3 guards and not shoot shoot Boris. And that's like really difficult to do. There's a lot that can just go wrong. And then he is trying to get back here early enough to, you know, so he can use the data thief and leave. Just a lot going on. Gets through here not that cleanly. Like, that could have been more cleanly, you know. Could 1 minute be possible on the stage? And many would say yes. You know, maybe that would have done it. But 101 ties the Clemens mark from 2019, a very good run. And so, you know, what can you say about that? I'd often see Ace get like double headshots there. If that guard pulls a grenade, you're really happy because then like there's no more guards to deal with. Yeah, Ace didn't get like a usually that guard you want to have pull a grenade, and then those guards are gone and they're kind of like harassing him now. But if they're gone, imagine how much easier this is. And then oftentimes Ormov just won't run to this room. And you can see he almost shoots Ormov here. Like when he started moving, that shot, and it's really hard to sort of get a gauge of when exactly Ormov's going to start moving there. So you just got to play out runs. Like, that's all you got to do. You got to play out runs until one comes together, and certainly this one did. I mean, he got to Ormov about as fast as you possibly can. And then these doors are open. So I keep calling him Ormov. It's Boris. You know what? You guys know what I mean. If I've said Ormov, I mean Boris. And then the ending is decent. Like, that was a bit of a stuck, but a nice warp. So, like, 1 minute would be really tough, honestly. It's doable on, like, a perfect ideal run, but it would be really tough. And there it is. Bunker 100-101. And that is what has led Ace to becoming GoldenEye champion again. Getting a lot of insane world records. He's up by 100 points now over Irie. More than 100 points. And, it's just simply amazing. If we look at the total tally, Yeah, so now he's actually tied boss in the game's history for total world records. And you imagine Boss joined 3 or 4 years earlier. A lot of the world records were like much easier back then. You know, Boss was able to get like a Runway Agent 23 as a world record, stuff like that. So like the later you join, the harder it is to rack up tons of world records. You know, that's why like Callie has 48, which is very impressive down there. But ultimately, Ace tying Boss is quite remarkable. One more, he'll pass Boss on the all-time list. So that is quite significant. And then if we look at the longest standing untieds, we can see that now Ace has the top 4 and 6 of the top 7. And so that's pretty amazing as well, you know? So, yeah, pretty epic stuff. And it really just goes to show, like, when Ace sets his mind to it, the kind of domination he can perform, you know? However, you can't do everything all at the same time. And so throughout these couple of months of Ace playing GoldenEye, Will X has taken it to his advantage to take over Perfect Dark champion in both points and time. Now, we obviously, the gap he has is much smaller. You see, then, you know, he's up by 16 points. Tomorrow, Ace could wake up and play Perfect Dark a few times and flip this on its head, right? But for now, the mysterious Will X is the champion, thanks to runs like this. Rescue Perfect Agent 228. This is a 3-second untied. And I love this sort of VHS aesthetic that he's been using on his runs. Let's take a look. Yeah, so around here, he leaves it for a few seconds, starts rewinding, you see. And then we'll get back to the run. It's a really, Will X is something like 24 years old. And so, he didn't grow up in the VCR era, but he's been making use of these sort of analog effects and editing in his runs, which I find quite remarkable and fascinating. So let's take a look here. So the thing with Rescue Perfect Agent, like, it's a super troll level, okay? And yeah, that's most runs. So like, who wants to play a level where much of it is sitting and grinding for a perfect start, 3 seconds into resetting? But then it gets even worse, because you need 2 perfect lured guards right here. You warp through there. Did I do a Rescue PA SpeedLore, a full one? I think I may have. I think it might have been one of the few Perfect Dark ones I did. So, we get this lift. I mean, this is just such a long level. There's so much to it. These lifts can go wrong. He's taking damage. Okay, you want these guards to pass away. He knew this guard was hanging out here. I'll chuck the dragon, shoot it. Okay, so now he goes here. And this is like sort of... Oh my god, he's trying to hit these guards. So even though like he lost a second compared to strafing purely there, not a huge deal. Because the goal of entering this room is to shoot that scientist once, injure him, so that he gets alerted to you, and break the glass the scientist is behind, so that like this very convoluted method will attract the scientist to run out here. This saves like a whole sequence where you would normally talk to a guard and get him to open the door and all this kind of stuff. On top of that, you need to lure this guard to open this room so you can destroy a console, which is part of an objective. Or is objective 1. And that in itself is like a Aztec glass style lure. Maybe harder than most Aztec glasses. And so there's just so much that has to go right. That getting, any of it, or even many portions of it right on the same run is very unlikely. Yet, it is what we see on this run. And on top of that, you have to survive, So, he's going to run out here, and the guard is the scientist is going to be like right out here, right in his path, to get the Med Lab 2 keycard. That's what you need for the ending of the stage. And so, like, all that coming together like this is just, like, unbelievable. He must have known he's on, like, the run of the century here. You're scanning the alien here. And then you just gotta run to the end. Get one more key card and call it a day, Oh my god, he fudged that. He must have been so nervous. He completely blew that, like, nade shot, but not a huge deal. He almost passed himself away. But 228's unbelievable. If you look at the rankings here, we can see it's untied by 3 seconds over Ace. Will skipped from 234 to 228. That's just fried. This happened June 1st, pretty unbelievable. And even, like, Elu's 236 was an insane untied when he got it. Ace trimmed it down to 231 in 2020, and then this 228, it's actually unbelievable of a time. And yeah, oh my god. So, he's here. Like, no, you want to shoot the grenade launcher shot to take out the guard that he later takes out, that one there, who has a key card. And it, like, bounces off the wall. Like, that, was completely botched because he was so nervous. He could have passed himself away and lost this 3-second untied, 8 seconds untied over second place. But he managed to overcome it and clutch it out. So very, very nice stuff by Will there. He has 207 Special Agent, so pretty amazing. He would also get attack ship records. He got 230 on Special Agent, which is a tied record. So we're going to skip watching that one because we're going to watch some other insane ones. Notably, Agent. Now, it's pretty well known in Perfect Dark lore, if you, pay any attention or have any ancient knowledge, that Attack Ship Agent 206 is one of the most well-known, iconic world records in Perfect Dark. This was set by Chuya Takizawa in 2011, and it had terrible, terrible video quality. And it was sort of always debated if the run was legit or not. The video quality was not good enough to determine it either way. And so it's kind of hard to know. That being said, after 10 years of being untied, Ace got 206. Then Will got 206. And still 206 remained the record for many, many years. Until this point in time, finally, just a couple weeks ago, Will X went out there and got the amazing 205. And that was really good. You want to take out 3 or 4 Skedar in that hangar area. The different difficulties kind of require a different amount before, like, Elvis will tell you to start running up. Probably going to be full speed here. Really, really good movement and speed throughout this run. You just want to get to the end with a chance. Basically, the ending, you know, you have to defeat the 3 Skedar, the real right door Skedar, the real left door Skedar, and 1 clone. And that can happen anywhere from, you know, 17 to 30 seconds. Usually happens around 23 to 25 seconds. And so you just want to give yourself a chance, even if it's a 1 in a million chance, that it can be enough for the world record. And he did miss the lift there. It wasn't bad, like, because the lifts kind of depend on each other. So if he hit that first one more quickly, that second one probably wouldn't have been perfect timing. He's really kind of freaking out about the pause here. Let's take a look. That was quite a long pause, actually, to catch his breath. About 40 seconds. Because he knows this run has a chance now. You know? Very, very clean run. 146 Elvis. So he needs a 19 ending, which is still insane and very rare. You know, happens 1 in hundreds of times. But, you know, we are watching the run, and so you know what that means. Oh my god, really good. And that was like skill. Usually the ending doesn't require too much skill, but like him sniping that cloned right door Skedar allowed the real right door Skedar to begin spawning earlier, you know, as soon as you hit it. And that was pure skill. This guy took a while, and then, you know, the real left door Skedar took a while. Boom, and then over here, and then boom, and then this guy comes pretty quick. And there it is, Attack Ship Agent 205. Really, really historic run. Historic beyond historic, I would say. Extremely significant. Will got Attack Ship Perfect Agent 305, which was an untied. But we're going to hold that for a minute because, you know, things happen quickly in this era. This is a cool one. Oh my god. There's going to be roughly 10 minutes of pause buffering. So I'll try to skip that. Defection Perfect Agent. Really weird level. This happened just the other day. He had 118, which was like 6 seconds off of the world record by Boss and Ace and Lake Demon. But he grinded and grinded and grinded and trimmed that time down, you know? What a cinematic intro. So you gotta clip through the level first. Into this room. He's gonna do a lot of pausing here. And if it's lots of pausing, we're gonna speed up. It is kind of insane that the whole raw run is 10 minutes, but that's the modern age for you, you know? He's speech skipping a speech between a programmer and some guards. Like I just went 1 minute ahead in time. And so it's all this stuff happening in the background that like we can't really understand or appreciate too much. Okay. Now he's got to clear out these guards. And then he has to like escort the programmer to download some files. Okay. There we go. Nice headshot. So now the programmer's running along with him. Oh my dear. This could get... I mean, obviously it works out, but... So he skipped that piece of speech as well, where like Joanna tells the guy something. Goes up the stairs. Gets the necklace from Cassandra. And like when he left the programmer, you know, he kind of ordered him to go to a certain location where he's going to download the files from. Wow, that was an insane mind throw. I'm impressed by that mind throw. It seemed like he really skillfully lined it up very, very quickly. So now now he's falling through the building again, lands on the spot where the programmer is downloading the files. He lands there, you know, just at the time that the programmer got in, so he just had enough time to go up to the top and throw the mine and so on. Now, as soon as this completes, he falls off, lands on a certain spot at the end, where he's throwing another mine, and then he jumps in to the lift at the end. And Defection Perfect Agent 110, which is... Okay, I guess the whole raw file is only, you know, 5 minutes as opposed to 10, but still, I mean, amazing, unbelievable world record. You know, we can see how quickly he really trimmed things down. He tied the world record at 112. And, you know, he's just playing very inspired Perfect Dark, that's what I'll say. He's very happy, you know, on all of his, you know, public comments on the rankings. He talks about how love is real. You know, he's really found some inspiration that's very meaningful to him, which has allowed him to really just play inspired Perfect Dark and get these insane world records. I mean, look, if we look at this world record 110, yeah, it's just sick. It's look, there's this cluster at 112, then 117, 118. It's frankly unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's special. It's amazing. And I'm stunned. I'm stunned. You know what? I'm going to play out his 305 here. It's important to see this attack ship 305. We're going to let it play out. And then we'll watch the final run of the night after this.
to not be where I think I am.
And it's worse than that, my dear. Just look who you've got for company.
You? I thought you'd managed to escape. We found no trace of you at all.
You couldn't find me, but there was no hiding from the Skedar, as you and Mr. Carrington...
I've got to get those shields down to let... No, only the hangar bay doors are in the way.
You've got to open the hangar doors so we can dock.
This machine contains the Skedar's powers.
So we see Will approaching the end of the attack ship on Perfect Agent. We'll see what he gets here as the... Sounds like he had to call that lift, but again, these lifts are so kind of fussy and they sort of influence each other, and you know, you're never going to have a perfect sort of double lift perfection. It's just the way Perfect Dark goes. And this 305 was untied when he got it. So, you know, certainly an amazing and remarkable run. In fact, this is sort of the case of the super untied, where his 306 was actually untied. Just want to double check the Elvis timing there. So 242, Elvis cracks the door, okay? So this is a good run. But if he had the same 19-second ending that he had on Agent, this would be a 301. So it's actually a 23-second ending on this particular run, which is kind of the average. Like 24 is kind of average, 23, 24. So, like, you know, it's a great run. It's an untied, but it's almost disappointing in a way, because it could have been even better. You know, even I believe there is a run out there with a 17-second ending, definitely 18. Yeah, a gentleman by the name of Greg K had an 18 ending on his attack ship Special Agent 232, which was untied. He kind of, I don't want to say fluked the untied, but kind of, you know? In that regard, in that instance. And, if Will had an 18 ending here, you're talking a 3-minute attack ship perfect agent run, 3 minutes. But even so, this is still what we call a super untied. He untied, you know, his own untied. He had 306 untied, now 305 untied. But my friends, Will would keep playing, and you can see on screen here as we rewind, he would get 304 for an ultra untied, and then I'm not even sure we have terminology yet for when you untie, when you do it 3 times. You know, untying your own untied is a super untied. Doing it again is an ultra untied. So that was 304. 302 is like a, I forget if we made jargon, hyper untied maybe? Something like that. And yes, it's simply a remarkable speedrun. Unbelievable, shocking, stunning. Every adjective you can possibly use to describe this run would not suffice. But it's amazing because when you look at the time Elvis cracks the final door, it's even faster than his 305, and so with an 18 ending, if you had, again, an 18 ending is like 1 in 10,000, maybe less. You know, but if you had such an ending on this run, which is probably gonna be like the fastest perfect agent run I'll ever see, you could get a deranged untied world record, a complete deranged one. So perfect agent got to run over to this side and press B at a console, open the hangar doors so they can dock. That's what we gotta do. Nice B. That door's not, that was so clean and crisp. Wow. I'm in awe. Jeez, these guys, the Skedar are tricky. Tricky creatures. Did he get that one? I don't know. But this is sort of like an imperfect area where, like, you can shoot way more than you need to, you know? You can take out many Skedar, but, like, you only need to take, like, on PA, I think it's like 6 or 7. And you want them to have good death animations and respawns, which they did here, thankfully. You know. Getting, oh yeah, you need ammo. Ammo is like a fussy thing on Perfect Agent now all of a sudden. You know, you didn't have to really mind that on Agent. But on Perfect Agent, you do have to mind the ammo. Nice. I mean, this is, like, he's half health. He's really got to be, you know, they're just, I mean, this level, obviously it's hard to kind of conceptualize for non-Perfect Dark players, but it's almost like a Caverns 00 or Aztec 00 of Perfect Dark. And in fact, it may even be more difficult than that to survive. And it's probably like as difficult as like Aztec 00 to survive. As difficult as like Caverns 00 to complete. And then you need like a 1 in thousands luck factor at the very end. So he got, like, that was actually really good to get through there, like, compared to an ideal lift, what he lost less than half a second by, and that one's gonna close on him, so it's perfect. Like, what happened there was actually perfect. Now, one hit he probably passes away, so he has to be super, he's taking shelter behind a little ledge. He has to be super perfect, no room for error, Looks like it was roughly 225 when he hit that last shot there, which is really good. $237 Elvis. So with an 18 ending, this could have been 255. With like the best ending ever, which is, you know, 1 in tens of thousands, could be 255 Perfect Agent, which would be a 12-second untied. That's simply unbelievable. It's almost a shame it didn't happen just for the sake of it, you know? Jeez, this next one came about as slow as he possibly could. 257, he shot that final Skedar. That's really unfortunate. Well, maybe not as slow, but, you know. I mean, regardless, 302 is an unbelievable time. And we can see the result of this. You know, he got 304 as well complete. And on attack ship now, he has a 5-second untied. Hyper untied. You know, over Lake Demon, Cedric. It's shocking and stunning. You know, will he get 229 Special Agent? It seems like people on Special Agent have the best endings. Like, let's just take a peek, because he did get this 230 recently. Let's take a peek at the ending here. So Elvis cracks the door at 211. So he got a 19 ending, which is right. Like, he got a 19 ending on this 230 Special Agent. And Lake Demon, I mean, he got this time 2 years ago. So, like, in a way, for Perfect Dark standards, it does kind of feel overdue to be improved. I mean, Lake Demon had an 18 ending. So, yeah, it's just kind of crazy to think that, like, to think about how good this 302 is. And with an 18 ending, it's 255, which is, like, unthinkable, you know? And so just the fact that, like, Lake Demon and Will had like really, really lucky Special Agent times, it makes me wonder, like, 229 Special Agent might be really, really hard to get. And so, like, Will getting the untied sweep there might be very, very difficult. He almost has one on Skedar Ruins. He's getting close there if he can get one with Reagent. And, you know, Rescue. I mean, that's the thing. That's the point. And that's where this kind of rivalry kicks in, is that Will is Perfect Dark champion. We can see these amazing records he got while Ace was off playing GoldenEye. And so that really, really makes me think and wonder, you know, how things will play out from here. You know, will Ace kick it back to Perfect Dark? Will he see all this WX over here and decide, no, I gotta clean this up. I gotta rejoin the fray? Or will he not? You know, is it time that he's kind of moved on from Perfect Dark? He doesn't want to play anymore. That's entirely possible. And we just don't know what will happen. That's the question, my friends. What will happen next? Are there more records to be set between Will and Ace? You know, it seems like they both have one or two times that's certainly given them an itch. You know, Ace with Train Agent, Will with Attack Ship Special Agent. You know, or are they done for now? Will Ace turn his attention to Perfect Dark? Will X ever come and make a run in GoldenEye? You know, he has a few times in GoldenEye, but he's like 50th ranked player. Let's take a look at his GoldenEye. Oh, I correct myself. He's actually 33rd in GoldenEye and 20th on in-time rankings. So, will decide to give it a go in GoldenEye? Could that happen? You know, he's very inspired these days. Well, only time will tell, my good friends. So, thanks to everyone for watching, chatting, commenting, and supporting the series, especially the SpeedLore legends and champions here. A huge thanks to you, as always, for keeping me going, continuing to do these episodes as we explore the new and remarkable stories that unfold in these games. Your support is truly what makes this all possible month after month. So thank you for that. We'll be back at the end of July with another SpeedLore episode. So until then, stay true, my friends. I'll see you in the next stream or video, and good night.